Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Samantha here. Today I'm super excited to bring you my version of my 2024 year in review, 2024 wrapped, if you will. I do have to give out a huge shout out to Beth over at Beth and Beyond, because she's the one who brought this to my attention, this whole idea of doing it this way. And she got the idea from S Truthless, and he has a video posted on this as well. So I will put the link to her video for her 2024 wrapped, and also the video for S Truthless and his walkthrough of how to do the year in review. And I'll put those links down below. But I'm super excited. This is going to be a fun video, so let's get to it. All right, so here we are in the top-down view. S Truthless wrote a poem to help guide us through our year-end reflection, and I would like to go ahead and just read through the whole poem, and then I'll go back and fill in all of the different things for me. So it starts out, a handful of highlights, a damn good decision, a series of setbacks that weren't in my vision, a morning, noon, and night from a standard issue day, a nature shot, a progress pic from home and from away. Some goals that I hit, some goals I fell short of, some goals I subverted or kind of hit sort of, a skill I fostered, a project I finished, and a small silly win which need not be diminished. A book I read, a movie I saw, an album I felt, an outfit I wore, made me yearn, made me cry, made me learn, made me laugh. Podcaster, YouTuber, artist, musician, gave me hope, curiosity, fun, and ambition. This photo is worth 1,000 words, nostalgia, chaos, laughter. And these two photos side by side convey before and after. Someone I met, someone I missed, someone who gave me the will to exist. Incredible chats, immaculate presence, lights up my day with their sheer effervescence. Helped me chill, helped me grow, helped me more than you know. Here's 3 things I made, 3 new things I tried, 3 lessons I learned, 3 treasures I earned, the person I was and who I became, 4 ways that my life is no longer the same. But changing and growing will never be done, so here's a sneak peek of the new year to come. So I thought that was so cool and so fun, and when I saw Beth's video, I was like, I have to do this. So I have gathered up my thoughts, and I thought that I would share them with you as I go through here and fill them in. So a handful of highlights. Some interesting things that happened around me this year. There was a F3 tornado hit about 5 miles from my house and closed down the main road up here. I live in north central Arkansas. The town that I live in had a flood. The whole downtown area flooded this year, and it had rained for about 2 days straight, I think, and it was heavy rain. And one morning I saw that all the water city trucks were going up and down the road by my house, and I was like, what the heck is going on? I had no idea until I saw it in the news later, but a nursing home in town flooded, and the main road through town, the whole downtown area just flooded. One of the bridges washed out, and then another nearby city flooded as well in their park where the creek runs through. And so it was just it was like one of those 100-year flood kind of things that never happened. So that was memorable for me. And then my son and I went to Silver Dollar City, and that was fun. I had promised him that we would do that, and we finally got to do it. I also took him to a place called Fritz's Adventure in Branson. It's one of those places where you can climb up on they have these big towers, and there's a climbing wall and rope course, and he really enjoyed it, and he overcame his kind of fear of heights, and so that was exciting. And he made a friend while he was there, and it was a lot of fun. And then the two other things that kind of happened this year that I wanted to remember was the solar eclipse, because where I'm at, we actually were in the path of totality. And so I was able to get some pictures of it. And I wanted to kind of put that in here. And then the other thing that happened was we had at one point there were auroras that could be seen in this part of Arkansas as well. And so I went outside and took pictures of the auroras that night, and it was really pretty. And so I was going to stick those pictures in here of the auroras. And then that was my kind of picture of the solar eclipse. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera or not. We'll see. But those were the highlights from my year. I don't know. Can you see? The eclipse is kind of coming through. And then a damn good decision. I originally, at the beginning of the year, I was working 2 jobs. One of them was at a school, and I was also working remotely from home. And I made the decision. I was tired and I was sick. And ultimately, I made the decision to leave the school. And so that was really good for me. I was kind of able to recover my health and start feeling better. And so that was probably one of the best decisions I made of the year. A series of setbacks. So quite a few things happened this year. I'm sure all of us can probably say that there were a lot of things that happened, for you this year. One of the things that happened was that my refrigerator died, and I had to buy a new one. When that was an unexpected expense. And then I was following a rock truck. I was way back, probably at least 100 feet back. And somehow that thing kicked up a rock and it cracked my windshield. And because I live in such a rural area, it was not something that I could easily get repaired. And so that stayed cracked for most of the year. I just recently was able to get that repaired, like in November. So I had a cracked windshield all year. And then I also had my check engine light came on in my car, and that was another unexpected expense. These were all like, it really hit me financially. The check engine light, that turned out to be a problem with the emission system of my car. And fortunately, it did get fixed. So it was just an unexpected expense. And then I had, earlier in the year, I had said that I wasn't feeling well, and I went to the doctor, and that was I waited months for that appointment, and I don't want to drag people through the mud, but it was an awful visit. There was no part of it that went well. The electronics record system of the clinic was down when I got there, and everybody was in a bad mood, and it was just a horrible visit, and ultimately nothing came of it, which was even more frustrating. So that happened. And then the other major thing that happened was that the furnace of my house went out, and that was yet another unexpected expense. And it occurred at a really inconvenient time because I had not turned it on, and it was the first time of the year I turned it on, and we were getting below freezing temperatures up here. It was forecasted to be in the 20s for several days straight, and it was just a horrible time to have the furnace go out. Because again, it was a part that had to be ordered and that part didn't come in for like 4 days. So I was out of heat for most of that week when it was the coldest, and then they came and they fixed it. It got fixed at the same time that the temperatures went back above freezing. So it was not a fun time, but we got through it. Certainly things that weren't in my vision for the year. Okay, and then I have some pictures here. Let me, zoom back out here. So this is mostly supposed to be pictures. So a morning, a noon, a night, from just a standard issue day, so regular day. So in the mornings, I take my dog out for her morning walk and to do her business, and my neighbor has chickens. And so every morning we say hello to the chickens. And then I work in the afternoons from home. And my dog, Jessie, she lays in here in the floor right next to my desk while I'm working. And then in the evenings, I usually kind of lays around in my recliner, watch TV, and the critters crawl up in my lap with me. And so I spend quite a few of my evenings with my animals, my pets, in my lap. And so that would be my typical day. And then the next one is a nature shot. So last winter, I took a picture of our first snow, and this would have been, I believe this was in January. So that is that, a progress pic. So I don't have a picture of this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get one or not. I'm still in progress, so maybe I'll take a picture, but I'm painting my house, and so the painting is not finished, and that's the plan to put there. And then pictures from home and away. I got pictures of my son and Jessie at home, and then the two from away were from the Fritz's Adventure. And because I don't really want to show pictures of my son, my family, and loved ones and friends, and so these I'm just going to leave blank. I have them. I'll put them in later. So, some goals that I hit. One of the goals that I hit was, I had originally at the beginning of the year made some goals. At the beginning of 2024, I had not originally set any goals, and then I went back and after January started, decided that I needed to do a little bit just to have something to aim for during the year. And so I had set some goals to spend more time with my family and try to just be more connected with them, because my family lives far away from me. And so I had made, my daughter lives on the East Coast and my parents live in Oklahoma. And so I had made a decision that I was going to try to stay in touch with them at least once a week, and that I was going to try to do more fun things with my son. And so one of those things, the fun things, was to go to Silver Dollar City. And so that was one of the goals that I hit, was to take Aiden to Silver Dollar City. That is my favorite amusement park in the whole US. I love that place. It's just the atmosphere, and it's just right up my vibe, the old Western feel. I just love that. So that was one goal. And then staying in touch with my family, I did achieve that. I did talk to them every week for the most part. I was able to visit with my parents several times, and get a better relationship with my daughter, so I get to see her more often. So that all worked out well. Some goals I fell short of. Well, I had intended to try to write a novel. I didn't get that accomplished. So I started it. So that was one thing I didn't finish. I intended to lose some weight. Did not achieve that as well, although I didn't gain any this year. I maintained for the year. And then, I don't know, anybody that knows me knows that I am not a handy person. I am not a DIY gal, but I had set a goal to renovate my house, and I don't know what I was thinking when I made this goal, because there is no way that that was ever going to happen. If there is anything that I have learned this year, is that I do not like the DIY house renovations. So there's that. Did not accomplish that. And then the next one here is some goals I subverted or kind of hit, sort of. So another, in line with the goal of staying connected with my family, was also trying to just develop more friendships and relationships with people. And so I tried, and I kind of achieved this. So I made some friends online. I enjoy playing games online. And so I actually made quite a few friends online. And so I did achieve it in that way. However, I did not really expand my friendships in person. So I would say that was a sort of achievement. So made some online friends, but not any new in-person friends, we'll say. A skill I fostered. Okay, fun stuff. My iPhone died, so I had to go charge it, and now I am back, and so hopefully I can pick up where we left off. This is the book that I was talking about that I read to kind of learn more about writing. And I also read some other things, did a lot of research, but I just thought this book would signify what skill I worked on. So a project I finished, I really struggled and could not really think of any projects I finished. So I'll keep thinking about that. And a small, silly win that need not be diminished. I trained my dog to trained Jessie. I trained her to wait, which is small, but it's kind of cool. I can put a treat on the floor in front of her and tell her to wait, and she will leave it until I say okay, and then she will get it. So it's a small win, but she's very smart, and she will do things only when she wants to. So I felt like it was worth mentioning. So the next one's a book I read. This is a book that I have already mentioned in another video, but I will put it here. A book I read, Nuclear War by Annie Jacobson. A movie I watched is Twisters. That was really good, actually. Well, the second half of it was really good. The first half of it, I was very cringy. Anyone that lives in this part of the country and knows how we respond to tornadoes, it probably felt the same way at the beginning of that movie. They were like, oh, really? Like, it's not really like that. It was really hard for that, what's it called? Suspension of disbelief. But the second half of it was really good, and I enjoyed it. So I would recommend it. And then an album I felt, Taylor Swift released The Tortured Poets Department. And I just really resonated with a lot of the songs on there. So that's probably the main album that I listened to this year. An outfit I wore, I don't have a picture of this, but I wore pajamas, Christmas pajamas, Christmas pajamas to the school. So made me yearn. I got in this phase where, and it's actually been for several years now, where I have just been like obsessed with the tiny homes. and wanting to downsize and minimize, and just there's something about having all of my belongings in a really small space that is just really comforting to me. So watching this YouTube channel and just not just this one, but all kind of YouTube channels related to like tiny homes just made me kind of yearn for the freedom of living in a paid off small home. And so that's what I am putting there. Made me cry. Everything. I am going through menopause, and anyone else going through that. So everything made me cry. Made me laugh. Jessie made me laugh every day. Oh, I know what I was gonna do now. That's all right. I can fit here. Made me laugh. Jessie made me laugh every day. And podcasters. So he originally wanted just like 1 year, but for me, this was the year of the podcast. And I got into listening to so many that I couldn't just put one here. So one of the ones I was listening to is Psychology in Seattle with Dr. Kirk Honda. That was incredibly fascinating to me. And I started listening to Joe Rogan. And also Dan Bongino and Glenn Beck. All right. This was also kind of a YouTube year for me. I spent a lot of time, more time watching YouTube probably than anything else. And so I had a lot of YouTube people that I wanted to put on here. So another one that I spent a lot of time watching was Diary of a CEO. Fascinating interviews he does with all kinds of people, and learned a lot watching his videos. And then someone I just enjoy following because I love horses. I don't have any anymore, but I enjoy watching her videos, is Clever Cowgirl. An artist, well, I have to put Catherine from Sterling Ink on here because I love her stickers and upgraded to the deluxe subscription for next year. So I'm excited about that. And a new artist that I started listening to this year is Lainey Wilson. I listen to a lot of different kinds of music, but I kind of have gotten back into country music recently, and I really enjoy her stuff. And then I couldn't pick one here, and there's so many that I follow, so many different people and things that I read and things that I'm interested in, that I couldn't pick just one for hope, curiosity, fun, and ambition. And so I have 4 here. And one of them is a YouTuber her name is Liz, but her channel's name is Regret Liz. And she used to be a van lifer. She built out a schoolie, I believe, and her story and how she tells her story is so inspiring, and I have gained so much from watching her videos. So she has been really inspirational and hope for me. And then I have a scientific mind. I love science, and this channel, he studies the sun. I don't really know exactly what. He's a professor. He teaches, or he used to teach. He wrote a textbook about the sun. Anyway, really love his video. He does a video every day. It's only like 3 minutes long, and I generally watch those, and just kind of a science update. And then, of course, my Dandelion Diaries. She has been very inspirational for me as well. And then I also kind of follow Canadian Prepper. So those are all people that have given me hope, curiosity, fun, and ambition this year. this photo is worth 1,000 words. And again, I immediately thought of the photo, but it was a series of 3 photos actually. So I had gotten some kittens this year, and my dog is very jealous, and she did not quite know she did not quite know what to do with the kittens. And they just did not really care about what she did or didn't do. They just kind of totally ignored her, but she was just completely perplexed. So they would go in her crate, and this is the first time, and I'm sitting in the recliner, but she walks into the crate like, what are you guys doing in here? And then, but she wouldn't make them get out or anything. And then she just sat down next to the, she sat down next to the crate, and she just stared at them like, oh, that is creased. That's okay. It's okay. Dadgummit. It's all right. She sat there staring at the kittens like, what are you doing in my crate? This is mine. It's mine. And then this is the actual picture that I thought of. She then turned around and looked at me like, Mom, they're in my bed. Get them out. And the look on her face, it just makes me laugh every time. So, photo worth 1,000 words. All right, something nostalgic. And so I started playing EverQuest back in 1999. This is actually EverQuest 2, which came out in 2003 or 4, I think. Anyway, started playing that again this year. And so very nostalgic from those years in my life when I originally started playing the game. Chaos. This is the tornado that hit near my house or near me. That was chaotic. That was scary. Even I was in shelter because of course the sirens are going off and everything. And then laughter is a picture of my son, which I'm not going to post, or not going to put out here. And then these 2 photos side by side convey before and after. So this is when my refrigerator died. I had to move all of my stuff in the freezer and in the refrigerator into a cooler while I was waiting to get the new refrigerator. And then there is the new, oops, can't see it, sorry. Here is the cooler that I kept all my stuff in while I was waiting on the fridge, and then a picture of the refrigerator. Okay, next. Oh, okay, so this, I'm not gonna actually fill in any of these. These are all people who mean a whole lot to me in my life, and I don't know that they would want to have their pictures and names shared, so I'm not going to do that here, but these are just all people in my life. All right, 3 things I made. I made composition, altered composition notebooks. Just put book. I also made, I don't cook a whole lot typically, but I just wanted turkey for Thanksgiving, and so I didn't really want to follow a recipe. It always turns out so dry, but I didn't want to cook a whole turkey. So anyway, what I ended up doing was getting some turkey cutlets, and I just kind of made up a recipe on the fly of turkey with butter garlic sauce, and it turned out so good. And it was just a complete accident. But my son liked it and I liked it, and so I'm gonna count that as a win, and it's something I made. So turkey cutlets with garlic butter sauce. And then the other thing that I kind of made this year was my son and I worked on a food truck project together. truck project with Aiden. Okay, 3 new things that I tried. I think I actually got these out of order. So if you follow the poem, it's 3 things I made, then 3 lessons I learned, 3 things I tried, and 3 treasures I earned, but I got confused. Anyway, this is how I put them on the paper. So 3 new things I tried. I tried drinking coffee black, and you know what? I kind of like it. I did not think that I would like it, but I kind of do. So you can actually taste the flavor in this. So you got to have good coffee. Can't have cheap coffee, but good coffee is good. Coffee black. So that's one thing that I tried. And I tried making YouTube videos. That's a new thing for me. So YouTube videos. And I'll have to think about that 3rd one some more. So 3 lessons that I learned. 3 lessons I learned. I learned that peace trumps dysfunction. It took me a long time to learn that lesson. Long story, but in a lot of not good relationships and clinging to them because I wanted to be in a relationship, and finally realizing that I don't need that. And the peace that I have when I'm not around toxic people is worth so much more than being in a relationship with somebody who doesn't value you or your time. So peace trumps dysfunction. And another thing that I learned was that if I want my life to be different, then I have to be different. And so I'm just going to put be different. And the 3rd thing that I learned so much this year. Oh yeah, what I said earlier. I learned that I am not a DIY gal. So those are the 3 lessons I learned. 3 treasures I learned. Or earned. 3 treasures I earned. So the first one I would say, the biggest one, inner peace. I can appreciate the peacefulness and the contentment and the happiness that I have now. So that is a treasure. And I'll have to think on the other 2. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's stuff there, but I'll have to think about that some more. All right, and then I have pictures for this. Oh my gosh. So I had printed pictures here, one from the beginning of the year and one from the end of the year. I thought I had printed them, but apparently I didn't. For the 3rd time, I set those up to print them and then didn't print them. So anyway, I'll have to go back later and put those in. And then the last one, 4 ways that my life is no longer the same. I think, I've really been trying to think of ways that are different this year. And I haven't really been able to think of anything that's specific to this year that's different than it was the year before or even the year before. So I'm trying to figure that out still. I'm not sure. So that's something else I'm gonna have to come back to. And then the last one here, sneak peek of the new year to come. So there are some things I am looking forward to in 2025. Some fun things. So we're going to Disney. I'm just gonna write Disney with my daughter. That's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited and looking forward to that. That's coming in March. And then I am going to be visiting and hiking, hopefully, in some different state parks. Over the next year, I have a goal. This is probably maybe one of my only goals that I'm really going to track and keep up with. And that is to visit 25 parks in 2025. So visit 25 state parks. What are some other things I have coming up? I'm hoping to read a lot more reading, and I want to go to Oklahoma. I want to move to Oklahoma so I can be closer to my family. Move to Oklahoma. And I want to have more of a focus on my health this year and just getting healthier. So those are some things coming up in 2025. And I probably will be sharing a lot of this on this channel. So if you're interested, stick around. And so that is my 2024 wrapped. I had originally thought about trying to decorate with some of these stickers, but now that I'm looking back at this, I'm not sure where I would even put stickers at this point. So, because there's a lot of pictures, maybe something down here. Could put something down there. What do you think? What do you think? Need to be something. Maybe those are too small. Yeah, most of these are too small for that big space. I think I will just leave it. You know, this is the end of this journal, so maybe I don't need to put any more stickers in it. I'm just gonna go back and put my pictures in of the places I left blank. There's that page, and that page, and then the final page. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed doing this with me today. I had so much fun trying to sit here and figure it all out and what photos I wanted to use. And maybe, you know, maybe you guys are inspired to do this as well. Or you can share your thoughts in the thoughts in the comments with me about what your favorites of the year were. And I look forward to seeing that. So I'm all done with this, and thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one.